Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and we hope everyone have an amazing day here. This is Stanley, and welcome to our fireside chat session today. So recently, global events and challenges have tempered many markets and affected businesses everywhere. With that in mind, it is more important now than ever for people to be equipped with insight and knowledge on how we spend their money. And that include making the right decisions for property investment. Well, the purpose of having this sharing section here is to explore buying or investing in undervalued property is a good idea. And if it's not, why then? So stay tuned where we'll be sharing with you on the next few minutes here. By the way, if you have not downloaded any of our EdgeProp pull out copy today or last Friday, please download them as we have some interesting articles to share with you. Okay, before we actually start, we would like to thank you to our moderator, Ms. Ao Fong Yi, Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of Edgeprop Malaysia. Okay, thank you for your time on moderating this section here, yeah?
Hello.
Okay, hello. Good.
Yes, please proceed, Annie. Yes, yeah.
Yes, okay. And of course, not to forget our helpful panelists here who contribute their effort on this wonderful section here. Ms. Yvonne Hing, COO and Principal of PropNext Malaysia. Hello, Yvonne, thank you.
Hi everyone. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, appreciate your time here. Mr. Freeman Woon, co-founder of Kid and Kin Realty. Thank you for your time also.
Thank you everyone.
All right. And Mr. Kelvin Tay, team manager of PropStar Realty. Thank you for your time as well.
Hi, thank you for your time. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. And Mr. Encik Faizal here, team leader of Rescom Realty and Perham Exco. Yeah, terima kasih, sir.
Right. Terima kasih, Stanley.
Yes, let's not wait any longer. As we, EdgeProp Malaysia, most useful property website, would like to take this opportunity to spearhead some discussion on buying undervalued property. It is a good time to buy. Can we make decision just by comparing actual bank value against the property listed price? Well, let's not waste time. Let's get the show started. All our panelists are ready to share with you now. Okay, you guys can take it on from here.
Thank you, Stanley. Hi, everybody. Yeah, first and foremost, like my colleague Stanley said, thank you very much for giving us your afternoon. We are living in very interesting times, are we not? Yeah. But for a meaningful and relevant discussion on investment, more so real estate investment, it is important that we zero in down on the all important considerations. And what are those? Economic and social attributes, of course, right? And we need to put everything into perspective. If you recall, Bank Negara Malaysia has revised downwards our GDP growth forecast for this year. If I'm not mistaken, Bank Negara expects our growth this year to actually range from a negative 2% to 0.5% at best. At the same time, World Bank has also revised downwards the GDP growth predictions for Malaysia. And their reading is from an original 4.5% to a current minus 0.1%. Now, if you recall, way back in the last global financial crisis in 2008, Malaysia also suffered a decline in GDP growth. It was quite bad by the standard those days, okay? But surprisingly, despite that, the house prices in Malaysia continue to rise steadily, right? Okay, but before you go and pop the champagne now, you know, and say, oh, wow, okay, so it's going to be okay. No, it is not going to be okay, because getting out of the current economic woes is a lot more tricky. And why is that so? It's because it involves life-threatening health crisis that is sparing nobody across the globe. So, with that kind of backdrop, does it mean that the Malaysian housing market is going to crash? Well, you can actually read about it in our latest EdgeProp Malaysia's weekly pull-up. You can go to our website and download it. Yeah, okay, Alvin has got us covered. Yeah, this is the one. What's next? You can read about, you know, what the experts say when we poll them and so on and so forth. It's actually the report is across 2 pages. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Alvin. So, is it going to be total housing gloom for all of us? Or let me offer you another perspective. Is it going to be a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity that is actually staring at us right before our eyes? Raymond, your thoughts?
Yes, definitely. A lot of people looking for good buy, right? Right now, I think is the right time. Because right now it's 100% fully turned to buyer's market compared to previous one years. Okay, and also because of Black Swan event, cause the economy. Right now, some of the people maybe they're looking for cash flow. Then is opportunity for some of the people who looking for to buy for some time, but they are not. They are still looking around. Maybe this is a good chance to bargain some good deal.
Can I just jump in, Freeman? So you're saying that the market is not totally dead. There are actually people on the lookout for good buys, value buys. Are we seeing that?
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Fongyi. Because property is still a need. Everyone needs a shelter. That's why still a lot of people they're looking for purpose to buy for property. So definitely still a lot of buyer looking around, especially previous few months. Some of the buyer they are looking around, but maybe because of the price not so attractive enough. Maybe the seller still consideration. Maybe sometime can selling higher.
Okay.
But
okay.
this opportunity because of a buyer's market.
Okay, maybe we just go around, to all the 4 guests, and then we come back again. Yeah. So Faizal,
Sure.
what do you have to say to that?
All right. Thank you, Fong Yi. Selamat tengah hari pada semua. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right. Okay. Regarding the undervalued properties. Okay. If you looking, if you follow the trend, you can see the property price will bump drastically after the economic crisis that we have. You can see in early 90s, the house price actually rose around 25% to around 25%, and then in 1992 around 12%, according to the Valuation and Property Service Department. So if you're looking at that, actually during the economic crisis, actually you can get the better property price if you are.
Yeah. So in other words, it's for those investors who are able to hold, long-term investors. Are we talking about that?
Yes, for the for the investor who have
holding power.
Holding powers lah, correct.
Okay. Yvonne, do you have anything to add on to that?
Okay, as we know that now is the pandemic is actually global, and definitely a lot of people that especially all those investors, they have passed through all those different crises. I believe that some of them, the investor, they have already have experience before, and I know that some of in the market, the investor is actually ready for buying during this moment of time. And during this moment of time, it's a switch of market, which is buyer's market. And why saying so is because that now they can, as we know that buyer behavior is always wants to look for a cheaper and value buys product, and seller always want to get as high as possible. But during this moment, everyone will know that this is not the time. And a lot of people who are running their business, they need the fund right now to actually start back the business. So they might use this property to actually cash it out to support their business at this moment of time. And this is the first time global pandemic that we see so far. And it's all industries affected, one and another. Yeah.
Right. Kevin, do you have anything to add on to that?
Yes, actually, thank you for having me here. To be honest, quite a lot of buyers have been calling me since the lockdown occurred. So what we have sort of experienced is that the past 2 or 3 years, there's still a lot of calls coming in and say, Kevin, I want to buy a property. Look for me for a better value property in the market. But the thing is, when we find them a good value property, most of them say the market will just go down again. Let's wait for a bit more. So when this sort of thing happen, this pandemic happens, is I would say because we have not lived a whole long life yet, but what we understand is that this current pandemic is sort of an unprecedented situation. Never happened before. Like what Freeman said just now about Black Swan event, and like what Yvonne just said, a lot of businesses would not actually think that this will actually happen and actually cause their cash flow to be stuck. So this is a very, very good time in terms of a buyer when they want to look for a property. Right now is a very, very good time to look for any of the agents that they are currently attached to and talk to them about it. Because I personally have got calls from buyers, definitely, from sellers, honestly, starting to come in. They say, Kevin, help me to look for a buyer because of something's happening with the financial market, in the sense that the loan is that they cannot pay for, the tenants cannot pay for the rental. That's why the owners depend on the rental from the tenants. They are not able to pay to the bank.
Right. So one thing will lead to another, right? Yeah. We're talking about the kind of economic crunch, right? Actually, that's a very valid point. After having said that, does it mean that, it is time to look out for buys already? Is it still too early? Should buyers be like doing their homework now, collating the data? What is it that you reckon that they should be doing? Yeah, because, I think as it was pointed out earlier, people are ready to buy, but they think that you still go down, so what's the hurry? Because it's a buyer's market. What are your feelings about that?
It's always been a good time for them to reach out to agents like us, like all of us here, to really keep in touch with us, because always we are in the front line of the whole industry. Whenever we had got the latest stocks out there, inventories out there, we want to get in touch with the ones that always keep in touch with us. So that is why we, please call any of the agents that you talk to.
Right. So what we're saying is you do concur that, maybe it is not the right time to buy, but it is the right time to start looking. Are we saying that?
Yes, definitely. It's a good time to start looking and compile the data that they have from their agents. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I believe that, we will talk a bit more as we go along. I believe that, all four of you have very kindly submitted to us, some properties that are actually undervalued. And we go by the definition that, when it's undervalued, it is like, less than what the bank has valued it at. Is that right? Yeah. So maybe, we can talk a little bit more about that. But to make it more interesting, we shall not restrict ourselves to that particular property. I need you guys to actually help me to understand the location factor, the accessibility, the amenities, availability of amenities in the area, because we know that, these are the crucial factors that buyers will have to consider, before putting the money on the table. Yeah. Okay. Freeman, do you want to start? I think you have like 4 properties, right? Each one of you have 4 properties. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe it's a little bit small on the screen, but never mind. Just allow me to run through the details. The first one is actually at Solaris Dutamas. Yeah. And it's put on the market for 900K when the bank valuation is 1.03 million. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Is this a condo?
Yes, this is one of the service apartment. Above,
Service
is
apartment.
everyone know where is Paprika, right? This is located in Paprika itself.
Yeah, maybe for the benefit of those people who are not in KL, yeah. So maybe you just
Yes.
want to quickly just run through what is Publica, what is Solaris, what's so exciting? Why should I even listen to Freeman now? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if for who not familiar with Paprika, right, it's somewhere near Mont Kiara, Tutamas area, and also it's a mixed development, have all the shopping mall. We call it that destination mall because a lot of people not sure where is Mont Kiara, right? Sometimes they were looking for Paprika. So this particular Solaris Tutamas service apartment, right, just on top of the Paprika itself. So it's very convenient and also high demand for the rental. That's why we put it as a good investment.
Yeah, but any reason, if it is so good, why is the seller cashing out?
Yes, this is a good question for me. Actually, this is also our part of our job as an agent. Okay, we need to know what is the purpose why owner want to sell the property, because they're looking for cash flow as well.
I see. So how long has this property been put on the market, Freeman?
Actually, all the while this property is rented out before.
I see.
Okay, because it is a good rental, 4,000 to 4,600 the rental for
how much
bedroom.
would that put the yield to based on the price that they are willing to part the property with? What would be the yield?
Yeah, this one for 900K, right, is close to 5 point something yield.
But can still rent out or not?
Yes, still. Because the good location, a lot of people looking for this kind of property, especially the rental, is let's say competitive, right? Some of the owner previously rent out at 4,000, right? Actually, it's a fast rental because of the good location and convenient. And also because of a lot of Japanese, right? They like convenient because they want to go down and have all the F&B and all the shopping. Yeah.
Okay, maybe just share, with our viewers, what is the profile of the people staying in Solaris Tutamas, that area?
Yeah, good. Definitely for tenant, right? I can say 90% is expatriate. Because also the rental affordability, 4,000 and above. Okay, so usually mostly Korean, Japanese, and some of the European that will stay in there.
Is this a fully furnished unit?
Yeah, fully furnished, and it is a dual key unit. That means have dual key unit, one bedroom.
So how many rooms again did you say?
Total is 2 rooms. 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
One bedroom plus one studio room.
Okay.
Actually, you can separate to rent out the unit to get a higher yield. Yes.
Okay. I can see from the visual that the window looks out to a patch of green. Is that the actual view or not?
Yeah, this is the actual view. But
actual view, not
yes.
Photoshop,
Not Photoshop. It's the actual photo.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. If there's one sentence that you can sum up, the attractiveness of this unit, what would that be?
Good location, good rental return.
Okay, so the transaction comes with the rental agreement, the tenant. It's still valid.
Right now, because the tenant just moved out already, it's good for people who looking for own stay as well.
Oh, okay. By the way, what floor is this? What floor? What level?
Sorry.
Oh.
This one at sorry, lacking.
Yeah, it's okay. What level? How high is this unit?
This one is on below 5th floor.
Below 5th floor. Below 5th floor can be 4th floor, can be 2nd floor. Can you be a bit more specific?
You want the actual unit, right? Sorry, this one is on 13th floor.
13,
13th floor.
There's a lot of difference, between lower than 5th floor and 13th floor.
Yeah, because I mixed up with another unit, which is I'm going to propose to you.
Right. And which one would that be?
Sorry?
Which one?
The next one, right? The next one will be the Iceland. You see the next, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. How much is that?
Iceland also have similar criteria. This one is if someone familiar with Mont Chiara, right? This is called One Mont Chiara Mall, which is opposite the Plaza Mont Chiara. Is who familiar with Mont Chiara? Also very convenient. Also similar criteria. If someone looking for like Solaris or Iceland, right? They will compare. They will compare this each of two property.
Right. How much is this property again, Freeman?
This one owner asking for 600K.
I see. And
also much below market price compared to previously owner looking for 650. Maybe because of the market situation, they're willing to let go faster, so they consider lower down the asking price to 600.
I see. So when was the price lowered? Was it just lowered, or
just recently?
Just
yes.
recently. Yeah.
Yes, just
okay.
recently.
Right. So if you're representing me now not just the seller I say, Freeman, what do you think? Will the owner go down some more?
Yeah, you usually as an agent, right? Definitely, owner looking for highest and buyer looking for the lowest.
Yeah.
How we bring the offer to owner, if you seriously want to considering to buy this unit, right, and with purpose. If you're looking for investment purpose, definitely you're looking for the lower price to get higher rental yield. So we will propose to the owner, but end up still subject to owner agreement. The price you negotiate.
Right. What's so interesting about Iceland? Tell us, who's the developer of Iceland?
Iceland is developed by Eureka.
Yeah.
Eureka, okay, who is developed One Mont Chiara as well, and who knows Sunny Mont Chiara for the high-end condo, and also Tiffany Chiara, opposite Solaris Mont Chiara. This is the developer Iceland. Eureka. Okay.
Eureka, yeah. So I think they're doing it under the Asiana banner. Asiana is listed in London, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's the Lai family.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
What floor is this unit?
This one is on. You limit the double confirm the unit. Because I gather all the information from all the teammates, they have all the good properties, so I can propose to you. So I need to double confirm the.
No issue. Yeah, okay. Would you want to introduce us to your third project that you've selected?
Yeah, definitely. Like left-hand side, right? Left-hand side is also from one of my teammates. This one is 10 Mont Chiara. One is one of the high-end condo in Mont Chiara. What does it mean high-end? Because of private lift lobby. I think this past 10 years don't have not much this kind of development anymore, because the sizes from 3,000 onward is very big size, huge unit for families, say, and a lot of high profile, high range of people were staying inside the property. So why this owner looking to sell this property? Because of the currency, because their children want to study in Australia. Right now is a good time for them to catch up, because the Aussie dollar is quite low right now compared to past 6 months.
But our ringgit is also equally low. So we are all doing the limbo rock now, right?
Yeah. But compared to Aussie dollar, right now it's about 2.7 plus. Okay, it's quite good for the owner. If they want to sell it right now, then convert to the Aussie dollar, because they're for the children studying fund.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the fourth one. Yeah, your final one for today. I know you have a long list, but yes, share with us one more.
Actually, this four of the property, right, I gather among all my colleagues, that is the best for so far. And also for this, right, which Perdana is located in Damansara Perdana, which is not in Mont Chiara. If somewhere not from KL or PJ area, this property is located near Mutiara Damansara, which is IKEA, Damansara Pertama, nearby Mutiara Damansara.
Yeah.
And then this is one of the studio unit, which is good rental return also, because this is gather a lot of local tenant, not like expatriate area. This one rental is around 1,001 to 1,002 for fully furnished unit. So it's affordable rental.
Yeah. Is this a freehold or a leasehold property?
This is a leasehold property. Yes.
Yeah. But for the earlier 3 properties that we talked about, all freehold, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, freehold property.
Yeah. So this one looks quite interesting, right? 225,000 K.
And also for first time buyer, right? Actually, this is a good property to invest. Actually, Rich Perdana is somewhere I started 10 years ago, right? When I started as real estate agent, right? This is the property where I started from.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's why I know the price, which is 225, right? It's actually much lower than 2012 and 2013.
Really?
Yes. They dropped back. Okay. They dropped back to 225 because past 2 years have a lot of choice in the market, and also because of the market situation, owner more understand about the market situation. That's why they're willing to put at the right price to sell this property. Before that, this transacted 300 and above.
Oh yes,
before 2008. Yes.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Yes, maybe we'll come back to you, right? At the end of the discussion with the rest. Yeah. Faisal, are you there? Faisal?
Yes.
Hi, Faisal.
Hi.
Hi. Apa khabar again?
Baik. Yes.
Yeah. So, looks like you are focusing actually outside the main areas of KL. You're in Bangi and Semenye, right? Maybe share with us. I think you have something in Semenye. What is that property all about?
Okay, actually I'm focusing around Bangi dan juga Semenye lah. Semenye dan Kajang. Alright.
Yeah.
So normally these two properties berada di area Bangi. Okay, di Bandar Sri Putra dan Bukit Mahkota.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So this one, the first one is Legundi Residency. Actually dia dah siap around 2013 lagi.
Okay.
Alright. Tapi this unit actually because Legundi Residency got so many types, banyak types. So this one types yang paling besar dia punya type.
Oh, okay.
So this type ialah Hana type lah.
Okay.
Alright. So dia punya land area around 5,500 square feet.
Oh, besarnya kan?
Dia punya land area 5,500 square feet. And then I check in 2019, early 2019, the market value is around 1.7 million, sorry.
I see.
1.7 million masa 2019 lah. Alright.
Sekarang berapa ya sekarang?
Sekarang listed on 1.25.
I see. Ada sebab yang tertentu kan untuk for the price to come down quite significantly.
Yes, because the owner want to invest to other properties lah actually. So dia dah hold around 5-6 years macam tu. So currently memang he want to let go this unit.
I see. Memang tak ada penghuni it's not lived in. It's empty.
Yes, it's a vacant unit lah. Memang empty.
It's a vacant unit. Okay.
Vacant unit. At the first stage, actually, owner listed around 1.4 something macam tu. Tapi already dah lepas dalam one year macam tu, dia turunkan sampai 1.25 lah.
I see. Any idea how much the owner paid for it when he bought it from the developer? Harga berapa?
If I'm not mistaken, the SPA price around 1.1 something.
I see. So getting quite close,
Yeah, betul. If let's say kalau kata compared to other unit, this one dah memang very undervalued properties lah.
Ya ke? Okay.
Because Semidi dekat sana pun ada yang transact around 1.0 Semidi yang size lebih kecil. Semidi dan cluster Semidi. So dia transact pun around 900 to 1000 1 point something 1.1 macam tu. So this one yang big size land area owner just want to let go 1.25.
I see. Okay. Sounds interesting. The next one, introduce your next listing that you think is interesting.
The next listing is Putra Hill Residency Bungalow Land. Okay, this one is gated guarded community. Dekat dalam tu ada 3 community. First is Anjung Suasana. This one is Putra Hill, and then another one I tak ingat nama dia. Memang gated guarded community lah. Alright. So currently the market value actually 100 per square foot, RM100. Tapi yang ini ownernya just want to let go RM80 lah.
Oh, RM80 How long has this land been on the market?
Around 6 months, baru 6 bulan.
Ya ke? Yeah. I see. Okay. Maybe tell us a little bit more about its location within Bangi.
Okay, actually Bandar Sri Putra located between Bangi Toll and Nilai. So actually this area is under Kajang freehold properties at this area, Bandar Sri Putra. And then I boleh cakap dekat kawasan ni memang tengah membangun lah. So this area ada Tesco, ada CS, banyak amenities baru yang dinaikkan di area ni lah. Alright, so kalau kata tengok towards Southern, banyak lagi new projects yang tengah naik di selatan, contohnya macam Serene Heights. Towards Semenyih pun ada lagi Setia Eco Hill. So this area memang very orang kata location wise tu strategic lah. I boleh cakap.
Is this freehold? Is this freehold?
Yes, freehold.
Okay. How many % of this gated and guarded development has been developed already? I mean, of the bungalow lands, right? I mean, the pieces of bungalow land. How many % of them have been built?
Okay, this one bungalow land, that area around 60% dah built. Tapi that area yang depan sikit ialah Anjung Suasana, that one memang built by the developer lah.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Yes. You have one in Semenyih, right? A terrace house.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because Semenyih is a pretty hot area right now. You have a lot of time developers there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But this why this unit is so interesting.
Okay, this one is double story terrace, Setia Eco Hill, phase 1. Very nearby to Taipan Eco Hill actually. Boleh walking distance to Taipan Eco Hill, and then dekat sangat dengan 360 punya clubhouse.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Basically this unit memang list below than market value because currently the market value is around 550, and then currently owner just want to let go at 475.
Ini leasehold ke freehold?
This one freehold.
Freehold.
This one freehold properties. This all non-bumi units.
Non-bumi,
memang non-bumi owner, sorry.
Yeah, why is the owner cashing out? I mean, it's a good developer. Setia Eco Hill is SB Setia. Yeah, the location it is also very attractive. Why is he cashing out? Any particular reason?
Yang I tahu kebanyakan owner this is a property investor. So actually for time being, they are ready bullet lah.
I see. I see. Oh, okay. Okay, gathering their bullet now for the next shootout. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. How long has this property been put on the market?
This one less than 6 months, around 4 months, something like that.
Okay. One more before we leave you. Yes. Tell us one more.
And another one. I don't see the slide.
Nilai.
Okay, Nilai area. Okay, this one.
Terrace house.
Okay, actually this unit located at Nilai 3 area. Taman Desa Ria. It's quite matured area lah. Memang kawasan ni dah lama sikit. It's around dalam early 2000 dah dipunya. So this area, the market value actually around 400 plus. I check last 2 months, I check around 420 for this double story unit. Okay. All right. So currently listed on 365, 365,000. Because this one, actually this unit dah 10% or almost 15% below market value lah.
Ini leasehold or freehold?
This one is freehold juga.
Freehold lah, yeah. So far, have you like seen interest in this particular listing?
Yes. But this one during PKP kita tak boleh buat banyak lah. So memang ramai yang tanya unit ni for time being. Tapi kita susah sikit nak buat viewing everything lah.
I see. So it's not necessarily that there's no interest. It's because of the MCO that the movements are being restricted, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll come back to you in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a chat with Yvonne. Sorry to keep you waiting, Yvonne. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi.
Hi. Yes. Over to you. Yes. Yeah. Please excite us, please.
Yes, okay. I believe that a lot of investors out there, you already have the basic criteria that how you choose a property below market price or have certain criteria about investment. For my side, I already summarized a few criteria that you can actually look at this moment of time. Is actually buy below market value more than 10%. Second one, you find the good locations which is able to fetch a rental demand. Because as an investor, you also want to know that whether this property easy to help you to get a tenant or not, and then how is the profile of the tenant around the area, and then another one, are the rental yield able to help you to fetch 4.5 and above? Because right now, as we know that fixed deposit is actually 2.8 and to 3%.
And dropping.
Yes. And then this is another way that are you later on, because this is investment also part of long-term saving. So this is also, if you want to sell, is it easy for you to sell? Because sometimes there's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So below market price, am I right? So are they able to help you to get rid of it if you want to sell it off? So I already summarized a few, which is some is mainly can have rental return and some can be for own use. Okay,
great, sure, yes, over to you. Yeah.
So this one that you put on, the next is actually at Old Krang Road. It's actually nearby in between Puchong to the Old Krang Road. And why actually this is actually because this one just handed over 1 year ago, and it's actually suitable for those youngsters. They want to find a decent place and just newly hand over. And for this unit, it's actually vacant. It's new, no people staying before. And it's actually, their size is 2 bedroom at 755 square feet and come with 1 car park. And actually why I promote this, actually one thing is freehold, and actually it's a very good view, swimming pool view as well. And it's actually, if you buy it for own stay, yes, it's good because the market price during the moment is bank value get it about 460. And now currently the owner would like it to go at 400K. And if you buy it for investment, partially you can rent it out at 1,500. If fully furnished, you can rent it at 2,000. That means you still able to get about 6% out.
Right. Maybe just share with us, because we don't want our viewers to misconstrue that we are doing any hard selling here. So maybe you share with us, why is it that people should be looking at property, and this one in particular during times like this?
Okay, why during this time? Because during this time, definitely you will have a lot of good value in the market. And if you yourself is ready during this moment, first of all, you must really go and do your study first. Are your financial, everything in order? Are you really have your fund saving? And are you ready for this moment? If yes, and then, if yes, then what is the budget range that you have? And what is the criteria that the requirement of investment that you're looking at? So this is a few criteria that you need to look into it, because a lot of time we say that this is cheap, that's why it's also cheap. So you need to identify which location that you really want to venture into it and what type of property that you really want to venture into it. This is the key things that you really have to look at it.
Yeah. Maybe we quickly run through the rest of maybe, just run through what you have for us, and then we go on to talk a little bit more about the market, the big picture. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So you put on the Beverly High. The Beverly High is actually a gated guided semi-D. It's actually good for own use now because I see that this is a three-story semi-D and come with 6+1 room. And it's actually, this is why it's good is if you want to upgrade yourself, and it's actually nearby two international schools and 7 minutes away to klcc, and the security is very good. 20 minutes time they will have a patrol, the security guard patrol on it.
Correct. Maybe tell us why the owner is ready to part with it at a lower price. Why? Since it's so good.
Actually, as we know that now the property put on market definitely is a motivated seller. They really want to sell it to actually cash back, to actually use back in their business. That's why this is the purpose they sell. I believe if a lot of seller that have like holding power, they definitely wouldn't want to sell it.
Okay. Yes. And the last listing that we have from you.
Another one is actually Padders. Padders is another very good property in Oakland Road. It's actually high transacted in Oakland Road and it's sandwiched between Mid Valley and also Sunway Pyramid. And along the Oakland Road, you will be so it's actually very easy for you to get the tenant as well. And this one thing Padders is good is actually there's KTM nearby, one stop to Kuala Lumpur.
And what kind of discount are we looking at?
For this, you can actually look at about 12%.
12%, yep. Okay, and this is a freehold property?
Yes, this is a freehold, and currently this unit is tenanted, and if you're able to rent it out fully furnished, it's actually able to help you to fetch to 4.9 to 5%.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, last but not least, Kevin. Yeah, let's run through your list, Kevin, and then we'll go on to talk about the macro pointers for the real estate industry. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for giving me the time to talk about the properties and promoting as below market value. Like what I see just now in the comment section also, I sort of want to answer a few lah, just in case like they are concerned about what we are selling here. Is those properties that are below bank value. The bank value checks that we have got is actually an actual market value, and the owners are selling those at below the market value. So what is happening right now is that the first one that we're seeing here is a Pavilion Hilltop. If people don't know anything about Pavilion Hilltop is one of the top condos in Mont Kiara. So the few listings I'm talking about today, they are mostly in Mont Kiara area. So this first one is Pavilion Hilltop, 1,800 square feet. Why is it that it is selling at 1.68, where the bank's value is 1.8? Is that the owner is looking to cash out also, like what Yvonne said just now, because of the current market condition. So this is one of the condition, the reason why they are wanting to let go. And secondly, this should be a very, very hot property coming up, because right now not many units are actually selling at this pricing.
Okay.
So 1.8 is supposed to be able to sell at 1.8, but owner is wanting to let go quickly. So it's 1.6. It gives you a very good yield of about 5% if you were to buy this property at 1.68, and gives you a good at about 7K per month.
Yep.
So,
what if I have like 1.68 million, 1.8 million, and I'm looking for a property in Mont Kiara right now, there's actually quite a lot of choices, right? Why should I look at this? Maybe you can guide me there.
Okay, I give you a general idea. Most people buy Mont Kiara is not to say anything about other areas, but it's just because I personally are very focused in Mont Kiara area. The one thing that I can see is that the Mont Kiara area is considered one of the top areas, prime areas in Greater Kuala Lumpur. So number one, most people from overseas, they'll look at like KLCC, right? Secondly, then they will come into like a Mont Kiara area or Desa Park City, where it is a lot of high rises, especially in Mont Kiara area. But what they can provide to you in Mont Kiara area is the security, yeah, and the infrastructure, the convenience that you have, like what Freeman also talked about just now in the Publica, which is just next to Mont Kiara in Dutamas area. So it is all a very, very centralized area. And the number three is when you buy a property for investment, you want a rental yield. And when you get a good rental yield, you also want a good tenant profile. This area in Mont Kiara is actually full of expats, and most of them are also looking for rental with a company lease. So that is the best case scenario. If you were to buy with your own money to invest, Mont Kiara is one of the good areas to buy for the safety of your money, especially in this current situation where there's a lot of money out there, a lot of buyers, but they are keeping their money in their pocket. They're looking for a good buy. And this, a few properties that we're showing here is quite a good buy, honestly.
Okay, let's move on to your next, the other three, and then we can go on to talk about the market, in general.
Like the second listing just now was Anjali Anjali North Kiara, which is just outside of Mont Kiara, a street further away from the Jalan Kiara Tree area. But it is also considered one of the good choices because that one is approximately 20% below market, like the second listing just now. So it was just passed by just now. So one Anjali North Kiara is a 20% discount. And the owner is actually selling it because owner has already bought another property, bigger area inside Mont Kiara itself. So that's why they want to cash out from there. The third one is MK11. This is considered a trophy property, honestly. In Mont Kiara, they have 3 or 4 properties, which is considered the top end of Mont Kiara. So there are some MK10, MK11, Cerny, and some other ones like Pavilion Hilltop and all these. So MK11 is considered one of the trophy properties, but right now the owner is looking to just sell it off because he is not really looking into renting it out. He loves his property. He wants to just sell it off and get back the money and move on to his business, to run his business. So the market value, the bank that get me the value is 4.1 million. This one is actually selling at 3.6 million, which is a very, very good buy, $500,000 off from the market value. So if you were to look at this for own stay, which is good, but to rent it out, it will give you also approximately 5.3% in terms of the rental yield. So which is also a very good buy if you were to buy it for investment. So the fourth one is a Cerny Mont Kiara. Cerny Mont Kiara, this one is actually considered the smallest size. So for people who want to go for like a trophy property to have own stay or investment, this is actually considered one of the entry-level property, entry-level size and entry-level price also. So when you come in and buy this property, you can opt to buy for own stay, or there's already a rental that comes in with this particular property at 8,250 per month. So it works out to be 5.2% in terms of the rental yield. So buy it first, wait for the collection of the rental until the middle of the next year. When the market turns good, if you want to continue to rent, it's good. If not, you want to go for own stay, this is a very good choice to buy for own stay also. So this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, okay, maybe we just, go back to all our 4 guests. One of the things that, yes, Kevin, we're done with this. So, Stanley, yes, we'll go back to all the 4 guests. One of the point that actually troubles me a little bit is the definition of the word under market value. Because if we are going to tie it to the bank's valuation, then there is issue of timing, because at the rate we're going, every day, things change, right? Because initially, when the pandemic kicked in, we thought that, okay, maybe 3 months will be fine, by mid-year, everything will be back to normal. And, as we move along, say, hey, maybe not, maybe we need 6 months. And then now it's like, hey, maybe like next year. And on the 8th of April, in fact, I've been told that in Wuhan, there's a second outbreak of sorts. So, things are pretty very, very unstable at the moment. So when we talk about undervalued property, I think there should be a caveat there because the timing is very, very important, right? Yeah. So I don't know, are there any comments? Do you agree with me?
Yes, totally agree with from you.
Yeah. Yeah, so for these properties that we have just heard from four of you, yes, they may have been like the bank valuations, but I think for buyer, they still have to actually look into it a little bit more, and also like what you've actually agreed. It's a buyer's market. So when it's a buyer's market, yes, now 10-15% may look very attractive, but we don't know, right? How things can pan out. But of course, like what Faisal said also, history has taught us that, the price of property will move up after recession. But I must also take this opportunity to add, this is no ordinary recession. This is one that's pretty much, out of the ordinary. Yes, definitely there will be good buys there, but I think for the discerning buyers, they will have to do a lot more. And this is where you guys come in, right, with your expertise. To advise your client, whether it is a good buy or it can wait or not, and so on and so forth. Is there anything you like to add about the economy, about the market, before we move on to the questions? Maybe just one more. We know that from the past year's transaction, the data the bulk of the transactions actually come from secondary market. Right, almost like 2/3, they're about. What is the situation now? I mean, are people still interested in secondary market as opposed to the primary market? With these economic challenges that we're going through, have things changed? Maybe you can share with me as per the inquiries that you get, because I think you all also do project sales as well. You will have a feel on the market.
Well, it's can I start with this?
Yeah, sure.
In the market, there is a primary market and a secondary market. But what we see that, from my point of view, is from our team's point of view, is that we still get inquiries on a daily basis, especially just before the MCO lah. But once MCO started, it definitely drops down quite a bit. I'm pretty sure for the primary market as well. But I would say people are still looking. It's just that we currently stopped in terms of showing people properties. It's because we are not allowed to show properties. If the pandemic passes already, then we are able to sell more properties. I actually foresee that more and more people are actually looking into secondary market and say, Kevin, how about this? After the lockdown, maybe we can sit down and do a cup of coffee and look through all the properties that you have. We would really like to look at the properties and start buying, because you see, in a financial point of view, people would definitely want to have the money to save. Definitely in a savings account, then FD, and then maybe some unit trust and buy stocks whatsoever. But the thing is, property is something that you have a shelter above your head. You need to have a place to stay. So somehow or other, from this point onwards, especially right now, the worldwide share market is so volatile. One day it goes up 10%, another day drops down 20%. So it's so volatile. But in terms of real estate, it's not always that happen that the property drops down by 20%, because in the end, it's still illiquid. We cannot just release the property overnight. So there is always this thing called holding power for an investor. So if they are looking for properties, it means it's up to us agents to qualify them and see whether they are very, very financially okay to buy a property. So before they come and see us, we would always normally like to refer them to a mortgage banker or someone like that to look through their financial health and see whether they are actually eligible to buy a property that they wish to buy. Then from there onwards, we are both on the same channel. Then we can go for shopping property from there onwards.
Okay, so we're actually looking at long-term investors or those people buying for their own use, right? We're not talking about the speculators, right? Because there's simply no room for any speculative play anymore, right? Yes. Then of course, you know, we have questions, and one of them is like, the person is asking, why should they be interested in properties even though they're undervalued now? You know, and what are the risks? I guess what the person is asking is, why not wait lah? You know, why now? I mean, they may be undervalued now, right? But 1 month down the road, they may be dirt cheap, you know. And then 2 months down the road, we could be looking at fire sale. Do you see that happening? Anyone?
Actually, we need to understand ourselves first. As a purchaser, we need to understand ourselves. Because everyone looking for the bottom, we are human, we're not sure when is until the bottom. Okay, so definitely we need to understand ourselves, then only look into the property, like financial status, everything.
Right,
and also we have rental here, especially in Malaysia, we are really lucky. We have the rental return. Actually, will hold the market price as well. Because when you reach up to 6%, right, 5 to 6%, definitely for someone who is cash rich, maybe they are saving, have a lot of saving, they definitely will buy for diversify their saving.
Right. Yes, Yvonne and Faisal, do you have anything to share? I mean, you know, question like, why should we buy now? Why shouldn't we wait? You know, because it's not quite enough. The dip is not quite enough.
I quite agree with Philip and just now Kelvin say, because it's actually, first of all, the investor or the buyer need to really study on their own finance. Because if you want to buy for own use, sometimes own use, right, a good unit is not all the time available or with good view, with the right price at the moment. Then if yes, then you should go ahead. If you think that is actually you buy for investment, your investment range is about 400, 500 in order to get a rental ROI at certain level, then you just choose the right location, which is currently the tenant is there and the property able to help you to get this, and this is a path of saving. So everything is right, then you just go ahead, because sometimes the more that you wait, all the good deal is actually going off. Yeah, and here right now, everyone is actually don't know when is the end and where is the down. Like example, sometimes we go back to stock. Sometimes the stock, we also don't know when is the lowest time. And sometimes it also will bounce back. And once the property is only very unique, every property have their uniqueness. Once the unit is being sold, then it won't be repeating, and unless the same owner, the new owner put it on the market again.
Right. So meaning, you know, your advice to our viewers right now is, be it undervalued or, you know, very cheap or what have we, ultimately the prospective buyer has to be very discerning, got to know his or her own financial stamina and also the purpose of acquisition. Are we talking about that? Yeah.
Yes.
Faisal? Yeah.
Yes.
Faisal, you have anything?
So I'm quite agree with that, because if let's say kalau kata purchaser atau buyer still menunggu ataupun waiting for the best time to purchase property, sometimes mereka akan terlepas peluang untuk dapat property yang bagus. So for purchasers, kalau kata memang untuk own stay, untuk kegunaan sendiri, actually masa yang terbaik ialah sekarang untuk membeli. Tapi kalau kata still menunggu, waiting for the best price, sometimes dia akan terlepas. So my advice kalau kata, yes.
Faisal, tapi kan Rizal, kalau beli sekarang terlalu awal tak?
My advice tak terlalu awal, because currently kita tahu how's the market sekarang. So market sekarang memang kalau kata kita tengok memang antara yang bottom, memang dah rendah compared to the few months back lah. Alright. So kalau kata sekarang actually memang masih yang terbaik untuk purchaser membeli lah. That's why during PKP atau MCO ni memang I dapat banyak call tanya ataupun asking for the property lah. Especially for the subsale, secondary market.
Okay.
Because for the primary market actually they quite afraid kalau kata property tu tak berjalan dengan lancar because of the recession is coming kan. So diorang takut benda-benda yang terjadi macam tu lah.
Right.
Most probably diorang akan pergi kepada secondary market.
Okay. There's a question from a gentleman, Mr. Alex Tan. What is the price gap, of property homes, right? Before and now, before MCO and like right now, is there like any significant drop in the last 3 weeks? That's the question.
Come again, the question?
Yeah, the pricing. Anybody? Yeah, has the prices dropped in the last 3 weeks?
Yes, definitely. Because some of the owner, right, as we say, right now, the real seller will come out at this moment.
Okay.
Definitely they will worry. Or some of them, they are prepared themselves.
Okay.
That's why they adjust the price. We not say they lower down the price. Maybe they put it what is decent. I mean the right price into the market for the buyer.
Interesting. Sorry to interrupt you there, Freeman.
Yes.
When you say right price, I mean, that's the interesting bit, right? Right for who? Right for the buyer or right for the seller?
Right for the buyer. Yes, right for the buyer. Right for the buyer. Because usually how we determine the selling price, also need to look into the rental price as well. Because because like some of the investment property, if you drop really drop a lot, right, then will affect the property price also, because we still have the rental market to hold the property price.
Okay, can I just be naughty? How long will we have the tenants?
Sorry?
How long will we have the tenants? Because we are talking about recession is around the corner, and it's not just local, and it's all over the world. And that being the case, that will definitely impact negatively on the rental market, right?
Yes, I agree.
The takers will lessen, and then prices will drop. So if we base too much of our investment strategy on ready tenants, is that too risky? So because basically that's what we are talking about today, right? Is it risky to jump in now, although the prices have eased a bit? Yeah.
Definitely at first, we still come back to the fundamental. We need to understand ourselves first, our financial status. And also secondly, you need to understand the market, the rental range. Because if you're not familiar with the rental range, right, you do know what is the affordable rental for the location. You have to understand. For example, some of the local area, right, 1,001 to 1,002, right, is a must, because someone from other state, right, they need some place to stay. That is a price for 1,000 plus, 1,001, 1,002. I mean the minimum for the area rental. That's why when you look at the selling price, right, usually we're around, if let's say 6% or 5% plus, right, definitely we're around 200 plus to 300K, because we need to determine the rental and also the income to justify the selling price. So I conclude again, you have to understand your personal financial.
I see. First. So that's very important, right? You've got to look at ourselves first, right? Any comments from the rest? Any comments?
For myself, point of view, no matter how, right, people still need a place to stay. If, like example, like motivated sellers sell the house, either they can actually lease it back from the owner, from the new buyer. If not, they also were looking for a new place to stay. So it's actually whether you're looking at those easy to find a tenant. Sometimes people alone or couple, they definitely want to find a place to stay. This is the rental, we can run away. Just that maybe the rental might be dropped a bit. It's not as high as the good market time, but is the renter able to help you to cover the basic principal, the interest that we have right now? And the interest rate is dropped right now, which is another part that helping the owner as well. Yeah.
Right. Yes. There's one question from Mr. Lau, HK Lau. This is not so much on residential, but it's related. The gentleman is asking, which segment of the market do you see a focus on? Meaning, which are the segment? Is it residential? Is it commercial? Is it industrial? Yeah, this is a little bit off what we're talking, but if you would like to comment, yes, please do. Is residential the number one segment that you are looking at? Which one is most interesting to you?
Residentials right now is the more easy to entry. And for commercial right now, we are a lot of uncertainty and we are not sure how is the market going on because a lot of business is actually not doing well and couldn't do the operation. And same thing with those corporate office. So they might be shrinking down because a lot of uncertainty and don't know how the business is going on. The other part is I heard from others, a guru that is actually specialized in industry. They say that industry is most, there won't be so many people to start it off because still have people using it. Either they turn it to a warehouse.
Okay.
So this one it depends on your investment range because residential is much more easy to entry and for commercial and is much more higher and higher.
Right. What about the rest? And would you like to chip in or shall we move on? Yeah. Okay. There's a question from Mr. Jimmy Ng. To quote him verbatim, if property market value is coming down, how much are they going to drop, and how or whether will they remain stable should the market comes to a halt? So basically, if I could sum up, is where do you see the bottom? Is there a bottom?
Can I comment on this?
Yes, please.
Okay, so basically, if you were to buy a property, number one, the first property that you buy normally is for own stay, right? Normally in people's mindset is that they buy a house for own stay. Then second and third and fourth and fifth onwards, they buy for investment. So depends on what you want. If you were to buy that property for own stay first, that is your first ever property, you won't care whether the market goes down or up or anything. Because if the market keep on going down for your property, there is always a sort of a bottom, right? Property price will never go down all the way to zero, right? Unless you buy maybe a cheap stock or whatsoever. But this is property, this is brick and mortar. The things that you see, there is already a cost to it. There's a land cost, there's a material cost, there's construction cost. All of these things make up the price of the property, right? So there is always some sort of a price for this house. So your first property, if you buy, don't worry about it. But if you buy the second and third or fourth, you always think, oh, is this the lowest price? Maybe I'll wait. But the thing is, when you tell your agent or the consultant that sells you the property, they say, hey, I'll wait. Then they will move on to the next one, the next investor and tell them about it. So maybe the next investor might be interested in it. Then they'll take up that particular property. So it really depends. Can you wait or not for it to go down? That is the first risk. If you cannot wait, then you buy now. The thing is, property price in long term, they will still go up because on average, a property price will sort of double every 10 years. So increase of the price normally, if you really break down over the long term, over 10 years, per year, it goes up by about 8%. So that is what I always tell to my investors. So don't have to worry because property, you need to know, yes, definitely your financial health, to know how much you can borrow, how much you can buy. And then from there onwards, look into the long term and keep the property because it's not an overnight thing if you want to let go of the property. And also the other thing is, let's say if I am a person who likes KL and I like Mont Kiara myself, let's say for example, I wouldn't go and buy another place, which I will go there so far away to go and collect my rent or meet someone to really chase my rental just in case the market goes down and I cannot find someone to help me collect the rent, right? Or you can find an agent lah. But the thing is, I personally would like to know that if I were to invest in a place, I would really like the place myself first. So for me, let's say for example, I like Mont Kiara, I'll buy maybe Mont Kiara, Hatamas, Bangsa, or all these places within the vicinity of Mont Kiara. So this is how I look at it. Yeah. So this is my 2 cents worth of comments lah.
Boleh I tambah sikit?
Yes, please.
Right. Okay, actually kalau kata bottom, you're looking for the bottom, actually this one memang very hard to determine lah. Because untuk properties, for you to determine the market value, actually the definition of market value sebenarnya ialah based on willing buyer, willing seller. So memang different properties tu akan determine different bottom price lah. Bergantung kepada owner, how steady they are lah untuk hold that property. If let's say kalau kata owner tu still tak steady untuk hold that property, then dia willing untuk cut dia punya profit ataupun kurangkan harga tu, yes, purchaser akan dapat better price compared to other unit. So for me memang kena tengok pada term willing buyer, willing seller.
Okay.
Alright.
Yep.
I also add one fast one.
Yes, okay, Freeman. Go ahead.
Yeah. We buy for purpose. Buy property, we buy for purpose, not buy for the price, not buy for the bottom price. That's we need to always remember. We buy for purpose. What is your purpose to buy a property? Okay, thank you for me.
And I can add on, during this moment, MCO do have people actually purchase for their own use, and also do people actually proceed to buy certain project. So it's actually got people do the transaction. So it's actually, it still go back to yourself, what you're really looking at and what you want.
Right. That's a question from CK Ng on the auction properties. I mean, how attractive are auction properties? Based on, your knowledge of the market, maybe we have some comment. Anybody?
Can I comment on it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I personally am a big fan of auction properties. Honestly, the thing is, if again looking at from the buyer's point of view, what do they really want to buy? Do they want to buy that auction property because it's cheap, or they want to just buy and then think, okay, I want to do a future renovation about this thing, and then I want to have a own stay or something. But the thing is, for someone to buy an auction property, they need to be very, very financially sound. So how do we go about that? Is that when you buy a subsale property, like what we are all mostly doing now, subsale property, normal subsale, you make an offer 2%, wait for 20 working days to get your loan and sign the S&P, things like that. But if you were to buy an auction property, let's say it's 1 million, drop down to 900,000, you need to pay a 10% of bank draft. That is a lot of money upfront before you go for the auction. So that is one thing. And number two is, when you go to buy an auction property, you need to be aware that this particular property, you cannot go and view the property. So you need to do a lot of background checks on the property before you do it. So it is a lot of risk, but the thing is, high risk, high return. That's what I say.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's a question from Elvin Ho on the pre-MCO market value versus post-MCO market value. Meaning, do you see by the time that this restricted movement order is being lifted, do you see prices crashing? Any indication?
I think, can I start with that? Short one, okay. All right. I think for the first 6 months, market akan tak akan banyak berubah lah, because of the government introduced the moratorium last time. Alright. Because of the 6 months moratorium, owner akan agak steady untuk sustain on the 6 months. Alright. So after that 6 months, I think after the September, then we can see the changes lah. Kita akan nampak impact dia. Alright. Okay.
Yeah. But sorry. Yes, Yvonne, you want to say something?
I can say yes. The development is actually good, but for people who really want to cash out, they won't wait until after 6 months, because we know that the transaction of property for a subsale market itself, it also will take 3 to 4 months time, 3 to 6 months to get the release of the money. So actually, this is the good time that really, like, people who really the unmotivated sellers who will need the cash, is a good time for a period for them to really put on the market to sell, because they really need to cash it out, and then they can actually once to go back to use this money, go back to their business. If you wait after the 6 months during the time, maybe during the 6th time, then you want to get buyer is a bit too rushed for you, and then you have to wait another 3 to 6 months time. So that means it'll be next year already. Yeah.
Okay, there's a question from In Man. Is landed property more attractive now? Faizal is smiling because you're promoting landed property, right? Maybe you want to say something?
Yes, I can say the landed property memang sekarang agak juicy lah. Memang the price, if you compare in 2019, 2018, the price memang agak rendah. Right? So if let's say kalau kata you ada kekuatan ataupun you ada steadiness on the purchasing power, you have the purchasing power, you buy the landed property, because landed property memang akan appreciate banyak more than high rise.
Okay, I'm not sure whether the other three will agree, but never mind, we will leave it at that. Yeah. Okay, that's a question. Do we expect the government to ease foreign ownership requirement of acquisition, post MCO? Do you see that happening?
Actually, some of
do we need that?
Some of the practitioners in the market actually already write in to get the government to support on that. They say they try to have the HOC back for the project, and then same goes to the subsale market, and then try to get zero RPGTs and also the SST some of it. So we haven't really get back from the government. So we actually we also they do write it in and do requests on that. So we're still pending for the reply from the government side. Yeah.
I see. But do you see that is something that we really need to get the market going?
Yes, it will actually help.
It will help, right? Yeah. Okay. There's another question. Hi, I'm looking for a house for myself and not for investment. Is this a good time to buy? I think we have talked about it, right? We've got to examine yourself as to why you're buying it. Yeah. Just to, stretch it a little bit, is there such a thing as a right time to buy? I'm just curious. Anyone want to attempt to answer that?
I think we also keep on repeating the same thing for all this while, right? Yeah. Like just now they say that they want to buy for own stay, and then you can actually, where is the location that you want to buy your own stay, and you already identified which area and which condo that you're looking at right here or not. If yes, I think you can check back the previous record, or you can actually check on the breach record, what is the previous been transacted, and now what is the price offer. So if you go and view, and then the unit is feel comfortable and feel right, because sometimes some price that is actually very, very low, but you don't like the lower unit, or you don't like the higher level unit, or you don't like the facing. So it's also no point for you, although it's cheap, right? Yeah, so it's actually you have to look at overall aspect that which one that you want, which one you're really comfortable for it. Yeah.
We have an interesting question here. In this difficult time, estate agents should be giving discount on their fees. Anybody wants to say something? Or pass? Maybe take it up with your.
I think most of the time, a lot of people we're looking for the discount from us.
Because we actually also added value to you. It's just a professional feel like we're also doing our business. Actually, real estate of course is also part of our business. And right now, our business also some sort that put on hold because a lot of time we couldn't go viewing. Yes, some actually doing the survive to ensure then we close certain rental to ensure we survive on these current situations. So we still will be requesting, and then because we give you the value of our service on professional, so it's a professional service. Like when you go and see doctor, lawyer, they charge you also a professional fee on that. Yeah.
And also I add on, it is a profit sharing. I can say it's a bit of profit sharing with owner. I mean, you see, when we sell a property, we never take a single cent. We never take a single cent to help you to market and all use our experience to get the buyer for you as soon as possible. As right now, you see, for us, we all helping each other. We are profit sharing, so we never request any single cent from anyone until we make it. That's why when you get what you say, I use an example usually I say 100%. Owner take back 97%. I only take back 3%. That's it.
Yes.
Faisal, you're smiling. You want to say something?
No. It's okay.
Yes, because when we get hold of the owner he wants to sell his property, we got his property information, and then we list it on portals or anywhere, social media or anywhere. These are our time. Our time is also money, and then we spend our money on advertising. So those are money upfront. Let's say if we were to list 10 properties, we use money 10 times to sell. Maybe if we have like 10 properties to sell, maybe we can sell one. Right? The other 9 properties, we have already spent the money out there to cover for all of these things. So these are all the expenses that we have to incur beforehand until we get our commission, which is called a professional fee. So I honestly say 3% is actually a good rate, at least. Because these are all the money that we have already spent. We have already table out to our potential the potential owners to tell them this is how much it's going to cost you, how much it's going to cost you. But at first, I'll be bearing all these costs for you first, right? Until the sale is concluded, then only I get my commission and pay it off for my advertising costs. So this is how we have to talk to the owners and also let them know what sort of difficulty that we agents have to go through.
Okay, we hear you, Kevin. We hear you. Yes, we hear you. We hear you. Okay.
Different methods and embrace different IT to actually get the awareness and get people.
Sure. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Okay,
Yes.
we have quite a number of questions. I shall attempt to just combine them about, the advent of e-commerce, hence, the attractiveness of warehousing versus that of shop lots. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that. Yeah. Freeman, anything to say?
You mean versus e-commerce and shop lot, right?
Correct. Yes. How do you look at that? Yeah. So,
actually,
the
we can
potential.
refer to actually we can refer to some of the outside country. Actually, you can change to maybe retail. You can change to different usage for the shop lot because of the market changing. So actually, you can, let's say for example, shop lot. Usually we rent out the whole floor, but you can separate it to small piece. To some of the e-commerce, actually they need a place to store their goods as well. They need to use it as a service office to their client as well. But they doesn't need a big space. So actually you can split it as a small area to some of the tenant.
So we are talking about innovative uses now, right? As opposed to the traditional use of space that we have all this while. Yeah.
Actually, warehouse also change because like warehouse usually because our manufacturing is changing also. That's why they changed the warehouse to warehouse office.
Okay.
Yes, like storage as well. That's
Okay.
why you can see a lot of changes innovative changes in this market.
Right. Yes. Okay. Any other comments on that?
And because nowadays you can see during this MCO, you see definitely a lot of people asking you to change the way of doing business to e-commerce, especially the digital marketing. And then actually some is actually straight away from the manufacturing to the end user. So no more retail. So they can actually turn it to, a lot of people would like to look at it as a storage. So to a store or warehouse for them to use it. So definitely a lot of people will start to looking at second floor and third floor. It's actually very, I just heard from some of the result of how they do the sales in the e-commerce. The result is actually amazing than when they really open up the store. And they get it more faster. And they also get a lot of cash on that. So this is for business people who do it. So you start to venture into the IT side to embrace
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are talking about a new normal, right? So it's no longer what things used to be before, right? It's a new normal. Yeah. Okay. There's one question, Robert Lee. As an investor, should I avoid property? I think maybe they could be a typo. He's asking whether properties that are priced within $500,000 to $1 million in the Klang Valley is a good buy. Should he be looking at property that's priced between 500,000 and 1 million in the Klang Valley? Maybe he's thinking of looking at buying property between 500,000 to 1 million in the Klang Valley. Yeah.
So is
that a good buy?
His budget also around that. He already do the study about his budget range on that. If yes, then actually it's up to him whether he want to get, like example, they have 1 million budget. Is it he want to buy 2 units at 500, and he just want to go to straight away 1 million? Then this is the thing that he also need to decide. And 1 million, what is the thing that's suitable? Are this 1 million able to generate the decent rental yield for him? Yeah.
Right. There's actually one question as well, asking, actually this is directed more at developers, but I think it has some relevance, to us having this discussion today. He is asking whether developers will be giving more promotions, now because the market is so soft, right? An extension to that question, I suppose, would be, if that's the case, it will have a bearing, right, on the on how your sellers should be pricing their product as well. Because if the primary market drops, definitely it will impact, right, on the secondary market. So do you see that happening?
Okay, for the primary market right now, a lot of developers, because I do some primary, a lot of developers still having the same price and visit, because everything they've been calculated into it, all the costs, all the marketing costs, everything is already factored in. Just that right now, if what we have is only 1 or 2, they select on certain floor for you to have more offer back to you. Maybe they offer you with fully furnished, with certain free item, with certain saving. We do have project that currently developer have a certain promotion package during this MCO. Yes, there's a klcc one project, another one is at Bangsa subset. Yes.
Okay, so what we're saying is those that they give a lot of rebates, a lot of freebies, those are actually very few and far in between, and there are specific reasons for that.
Yes.
Are we saying that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This one very interesting question here. Mr. Yap, he's asking, hi guys, any good advice for developers? What is the acceptable property values right now? Interesting. I suppose the question is because you have your finger on the pulse, and you would know what is the level, what is the range of property values that's acceptable to the market right now. You want to attempt to offer some advice or some feedback maybe? The new launches being priced too high, too low, just right? I don't know. Yeah. Any comments?
It also depends on where is the project located. If the project located at Mount Kiara, the land itself is also expensive, or in KLCC area is also expensive. I don't think the price will be now. If like some of the outskirt land, then definitely the price is they price it differently. Yeah.
Right.
I think. Sorry,
yes, please. No, please go ahead, Freeman.
I still go back to fundamental. When developer build a unit, right, need to study what we're looking for now. Okay, then only when we build something suitable for the market.
Right. What about the pricing? The pricing goes hand in hand with that.
That's why we need to study the location, affordability, and also the income, about the income about the area. to understand what is the affordable income for the area to buy the property. And also for the rental as well, is for investment purpose. Then also need to understand the surrounding rental yield. Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you one question. What about, because we are talking about properties on the secondary market, how important is the condition of the property management of the building? Is that important? Is that something that buyers should be looking at? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you have a very affirmative yes, Freeman. You want to talk about that?
Actually, this one have to work together. Not only depend the property management.
Yeah.
Okay. Because everyone staying together, so have to understand the maintenance. Have to work together. Not only depend property management. You need to involve in like all the AGM, everything. You need to understand what do you need for the maintenance for this moment, and also need to understand why you need to pay for the maintenance fees. So you really need to involve in it to understand, to maintain the property, because it is very important. Not only depends on property management, it's everyone. Property management also need to understand what the occupant or the owner needs for the building itself.
Yeah. True, Freeman. I'm more interested in the value of the property. I mean, what is the impact of the quality of property management on the value of the property? Is it important? I mean, when you take your clients, for viewing, is there something that they look at? I mean, say that, wow, this building looks like shit. Yeah. So
definitely. Everyone looking for the decent property, right?
Yeah.
That's why management is one of the important role. When you go in for the first impression, when you don't have a good property management, from the security, when you come in from the security guard, that you already can feel it. But also depends the location as well. Okay, if the location, affordability, because affordability, because some of the property, they don't have a right, property management, right? But still have people looking for it because of the reasonable price.
I see. Okay, but it is one of the buying considerations.
It's one of the, I can say, major, because I used to qualify a property. Usually I use purpose, what is the purpose? And then the price, location, and condition. I use PPLC. That's why condition is one of the important criteria for everyone to searching a property.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I think we're at 3:30 now. We are all waiting for a very important announcement from our Prime Minister at 4 o'clock. So maybe, we will just wrap up. Let me just quickly try and gel everything together and to jump in, if I've missed everything. Today, we are talking about the opportunities versus risks, right? About the property investment in this environment. We have kind of like concluded that, yes, there are a lot of opportunities and also there are risks. So, for the discerning buyer, there are a lot of things that the person needs to do. Don't just look at the price now, right? Do their research, talk to the professional real estate agents who can help advise them, right? And look beyond just the brick and mortar, look at the condition of the building, the management. Also look at the potential investment potential of that building vis-a-vis the accessibility, the availability of maintenance, and so on and so forth. And one more thing, I remember, I think it was you, Kevin, who said that don't wait, right? Yeah, because if you wait, the listing may just go on to the next person. And as you were saying that, this thought came to my mind. Why should people be upset if, okay, this listing is no longer there, I'll wait for another one? Then it hit me. I think, buying a property is something that's very, very personal. And to, a lot of people is the single biggest decision in life besides getting married lah, huh? Okay, that's a story for another day, right? So again, people buy because of familiarity, right? They buy because your mother-in-law is staying near, or you don't want to stay there because your mother-in-law is there. But never mind, there are reasons like that. Maybe it's near to your place of work. It's near to a good school. Is that what you meant by you can't wait? Is that what you meant?
Yes, yes. Because the thing is, when you say, okay, this time I will wait, but then this property goes on to the next buyer already. Then the next time, if it's this particular, the new property that comes up in the same development, maybe a different floor, different facing, it might be not to your liking already, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a hot sale market, so not all the owners inside the condo will want to sell to you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So again, it boils down to the very important point that one need to ask oneself, why are you buying? Right?
Yes.
I mean, we have to examine ourselves, right? The purpose, right? Over and above, whether this property is nice looking, it has like 5 swimming pools, 6 playing fields, or on so on and so forth, right? Yeah. So the purpose is important. So do you agree that, yes, the opportunities are there. We don't know whether the market has bottomed up. My guess is that it hasn't. I mean, it's still too early day. I mean, that's the reality because people are losing their jobs, right? So when it comes to tenancy, we do expect a lot more vacancies. That's the reality. Yes, the bottom will come. We don't know when. But honestly, I don't know whether, again, whether you agree with me, we are not there yet, but it may be a good time to start looking, to start talking, yes. And are there any risks? Of course there is. So we have to examine ourselves and ask us whether we can take on those risks before we go on, to make this major decision of signing on the dotted line. Yeah. So, for our viewers, yes, it is not our intention to do any hard sell here. But we thought that, when we say that there are actually opportunities out there, it will also be incomplete if we don't highlight, for example, these are some of the things, these are some of the listings that are out there available. Right, we try our best to to balance the conversation, and yes, and if we have if we have come across and is doing any hard sell, please do feel assured that that was never the intention. Stanley, you're smiling. You want to say something?
No, I'm happy with all the sharing here. This is good sharing today.
Yeah. Maybe a quick we're at 3:37 now. Maybe one very quick round. Among our guests, before you leave, one last word for us. Please don't do any selling. Yes. Advice for buyers. Yeah. Advice for sellers. Yes. Anything, Yvonne? Shall we start with you?
Yes, every investment, there's always a risk, no matter in a property, in a share, equity, whatsoever. The main thing that you need to understand what type of investment that you're looking at, and then you need to do your own study of the risk itself. There's always two sides. One coin have two faces. Is this an opportunity for you, or is it a risk for you? And how you minimize the risk is actually you need to do your safety net of all the investment. And you will need to do the study and research by yourself.
Yeah. Don't jump in with eyes closed, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Faisal?
Yes.
Any advice?
Okay, if you for you guys who are looking for undervalued properties right now, actually my advice, this is a good time to buy. Masih yang terbaik untuk membeli di luar sana. Kalau kata you still menunggu ataupun waiting for the right time, mungkin you akan terlepas. So kena ambil peluang ni. Alright. So yang paling penting, kalau kata you dah jumpa property yang memang undervalue, make sure you gunakan registered real estate negotiator, because that one you minimize your risk actually.
Yes, good point.
Alright.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah. But also must make sure that can pay the loan lah.
Yes.
Very important. Otherwise, go to
That one
auction
very
property
important.
susah sikit, right? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Freeman? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For some of you, don't too excited. Or also, so for some of you, also don't too worry. Okay. Actually, everyone selling or buying, you have a reason. You need to know your reason. Always ask yourself, what is the reason? Don't too excited or too panic to do too much action. So you need to understand your purpose before, not because of the price. Always remember, not because of the price. Okay, for
Yes.
selling or for buying. Okay. Thank you.
I think that's a very good advice. Yes. Last but not least, Kevin. Yes, the stage is yours.
Yeah, there's because there's quite a few people looking at our webcast right now. So there must be a buyer and there is a seller. So I'll talk to the buyer first. So you like what Freeman said, you need to know what's your purpose of buying the property. Is it for own stay or investment? And then really check your financial health. If you don't know how to check your financial health, look for any of us or any of the agents that you have. You know lah. And then the other thing is you need to know the timeline. You say, I want to buy. Okay, I want to buy, Mr. Kevin, I want to buy this particular development. But the thing is, I don't know when I'm going to buy. So that is going to be a very, very long period before you don't know, you decide when to buy. So it might be next year. How about the next 3 months? Kevin, I really want to buy this property in the next 3 months. That gives us a lot of more empowerment to go and search for you. Because if you say, I want to buy, but I don't know when I'm going to decide to buy, then it will be forever, right? So you need to really establish that sort of understanding with the person who helps you on this. So that is why you need to be with, quite honest with your agent. So if I was to talk to a seller, so I would say you need to let us know your bottom price. Not to say we want to advertise at the bottom price for you, but there is always a room for negotiation when we advertise for you. So that is why it's going to be a win-win situation and very clear-cut communication between both parties. So that's what.
Okay, just to add on to that, as a conclusion, I'd like to say that, yes, price of properties on the secondary market may have fallen, but whether or not we have reached the bottom, that is anyone's guess. So while there are opportunities, which we should not shut ourselves to, please be reminded that there are also risks. Yeah, so there's a lot of research that you need to do before you should put your signature on the dotted line. Yes, with that, yes, Stanley, back to you.
Okay, really thank you for everyone taking your time to share your knowledge here with our audience. I think it's quite dangerous if we do not know what we want. Of course, based on all the sharing here, I think everyone will have a better understanding on the pros and cons when it comes to buy undervalued property. All right. If any one of you are still around in this broadcasting here, if you may want to check all these undervalued properties, you can actually go into our website here on EdgeProp to actually find any property that suits your needs. Yeah. Okay. No hard selling. Look into it. If you're very comfortable, contact all of our agents there. All right. Whatever we're going to share today on this broadcasting, we'll also be covering up this topic here on our next pull-up. So stay tuned and download that pull-up. But I really want to just give a huge thank you to our moderator here, Ms. Ao Fong Hee, and to all our panelists here, as well those who attended this section here. Please remember to give a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and follow our Facebook page for upcoming property news and event. And for those who are agent negotiator, this is my part here. So we are actually promoting on property listing account. Feel free to contact me or contact our sales representative if you wish to get an account registration. All right. Do leave your comment if you want to say anything. Would like to hear them out. I really thank you to all of you, and goodbye and stay safe from Edgeprop Malaysia. This is Stanley, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
This is the new norm.